Yes or no? Please sound out now.
Yes, sir. Carbon and
Okay.
hydrogen.
Carbon and hydrogen. And then there are two categories of hydrocarbon, the alipathic and the aromatics. Aromatic group, example of that is benzene. So in other words, there is a benzene, there is a ring attached to a particular molecules composed of carbon and hydrogen, and it's not solely carbon and hydrogen in there. There are other constituents, or there is a kind of, parang it's not naman complex, but it's kind of bulky. The structure is bulky, and you need to be careful in how you name them. Unlike the allopathic is so easy to understand because these are composed of carbon and hydrogen only, and even the substituents are parts of the compound, or these are the molecules that are still composed of carbon and hydrogen, but if you're going to look at the structure, they kind of stick out. No, they kind of stick out from the structure, and you name them. I mean, they are now considered alkane. I mean, alkyl. The alkyl group is an alkane with less one hydrogen atom. Like your methane becomes a methyl, your propane becomes a propyl. No, so these are found normally in the alipathics. Now, in the aromatics, normally we have other components there like benzene, toluene, xylene, and other functional groups like maybe later you will understand the COOH group or the OH group. No, so for the hydrocarbons, we have the aromatics. And then for the alipathic, we have the acyclic. The acyclic is a continuous carbon chained organic compound. No, there is a carbon that is chained together, and you can see that there is a carbon drawn at the right side, at the left side, and there is also a carbon atom that is drawn or placed in the left side. So there are three acyclic alipathic hydrocarbons. What are these? Answer me. Hmm?
Alkane,
Alkane, alkene, alkyne. Alkane, alkene, alkyne. Okay? And of course, the cyclic group is the one where the left carbon and the right carbon bond to form a ring. So nagkakaroon ng ring, and there is no more a chain, there is no more line. If you're going to, ano in the structure, it's not anymore from right, from left to right. No, you cannot see left to right structure, but because there is a meeting of the two carbons that are usually placed at the right and at the left. So we have the cyclo counterpart. So if there are alkanes, if there is an alkane group, there is a cycloalkane group. If there is an alkene group, there is a cycloalkene group, and so on. Okay. Now, the three acyclic alipathic hydrocarbons. Because what if the test is like this? Okay, I'm going to give you methane. What is that? Alipathic, aromatic. Oh, I will give you ethane. What is that? Is that acyclic? Cyclic. If I say pentene, what is that? Alipathic, aromatic. Oh, di ba? So that is how important classification is, no? Now, the acyclic alipathic hydrocarbons, we have three, the alkane, alkene, alkyne. Let us characterize the three. What is the difference in terms of general formula? Anyone? O, nagre-review na tayo ng konti. What is the difference? In terms of the general formula, how do we know whether it's an alkane, alkene, or alkyne? What formula is followed by each? Anyone?
By, ano, sir? By hydrogen.
No. When I say formula, you have to say C sub N H blah blah blah. Ibig sabihin, you will mention the general formula of this structure of carbon and hydrogen and indicate as a subscript the formula. So what is the formula for alkane? Uy, ginabalik ba? Yeah, ayak. Okay, Thea, that is C sub N then H2N plus 2. Correct yan, Thea. No? If example, if we have an ethane, so we have C2H, ano partner? 2 times 2, 4, plus 2, di ba? 2. Then 2N plus 2, 2. Kunwari C2, ang 2 ang titingnan mo, you multiply the N, which is 2 by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2, so 6. So that is C2H6, that is ethane. And what is the formula for methane? Methane is with 3C. What will happen to the H? What is the formula? Yun na, wala na. Yun na, pinipressure na para sa exam and then hindi na kayo nag-prepare. Ano yung C1? Bakit ka may C1? Ang C1 methane man na. Propane ang aking sinabi. Kunwari, propane tayo na C3. Ano ang partner niya ng H? Kasi carbon is 3. So 3 times 2.
Sir,
Yeah. C3H8. Okay, tama, no? So, if it follows like that, even if you don't know the name, if I ask you to classify it as an alkane, alkene, and alkyne, you just have to remember the general formula. So, what is the general formula again, class? Answer me daw in chorus. What is the general formula for alkane?
C sub N H sub.
Okay, everyone, kay chorus gani, chorus. Again, go.
C,
Okay, drop the word sub para tuloy-tuloy. C, N, go.
C N
Cn, H2N plus 2. Is that your answer?
yes, sir.
No, remember, alkanes follow C sub N, H2N plus 2, or Cn, H2N plus 2. Okay, that is a characteristic of alkane. Now, let's characterize alkene in terms of the general formula. What is the formula for alkene? Anyone?
CnH2n, sir.
Okay, correct. Si Shane and Thea. No, CnH2n. Perfect. All right. Other than that, what is the other distinguishing characteristic of alkene that makes it different from alkane? Alkane has a compound, has a carbon that is surrounded by how many single bands?
Double band.
No. Alkane. How many single bands are surrounding each carbon atom? Diba sabi ko sa inyo noon, 4, Aaron, that's correct. Mag-imagine dito, hindi dito pwede mag-aral kasi ang organic chemistry, mas simplang, masiro gid mo ani pag hindi kayo mag-prepare. Hindi siya madalang pa smile. O pa-active-active lang sa lab, pasagit-sagit, padlok-hadlok, yung mga ganun. No! You have to rely on your memory in here. So mag-aral talaga at least. I am now preparing you for that event which will happen pa on Thursday. So prepare. No, I am giving you hint. Okay, so 4. And because carbon has 4 single bands, we can classify, carbon in the alkane has 4 single bands. No? It is also a reminder to you that alkane is a saturated hydrocarbon. If we say saturated, every carbon atom of this organic compound is surrounded by 4 single bands. Okay, now let's go to alkene. The general formula is CnH2n. Am I correct? Ang
Yes,
alkene ba? Alkene, CnH2n ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we have a C2, what What is our partner for H?
4, sir.
Okay, C2H4. And what is the name of C2H4?
Ethene, sir.
Ethene, sir.
Yeah, ethene, or what is ethene? And the other common name, the common name for ethene is,
Ethyl.
hindi kasi nakikinig sa mga laboratory session. Another name for ethene is ethylene. Right? Di ba? Common name ng ethylene. Ang kanyang IUPAC name is actually a group of chemists that agree on the proper or scientific or organized or systematic naming of carbons. No? May mga rules. Ayun ang IUPAC. We will talk about that. But at this point, if you know that your ethene is C2H4, so what is C3? What is the partner?
H6.
H6, sir.
Okay, what is the name of that alkene? If it is C3H6.
Propane.
Propane.
O ano, pain or pin?
Propane.
Propene. No? Hindi, ang pain, ANE yun. Calcane yun sila. Ang kanyang formula noon is CnH2n plus 2. Ang alkene, ENE, alkene. Ang formula niya, CnH2n. Okay, now let's go about, let's proceed to the alkene that has 5 carbons. What is the formula? What is the name and what is the formula for this? 5 carbons. Pero siya alkene.
C5H10, sir.
Ano pangalan?
Pentene.
Pentene. Okay, so yung iba na nalilito pa, no, you really have to encode these kinds of things, no, and these are very basic before Thursday, no, dapat alam niyo yan. Hindi pa nga tayo nag-consider ng mga branching dito, no. All right, another one. Aside from the formula CnH2n for alkene, no, there is also another characteristic that makes it really different. At least, alkene has what? In terms of bonding. In terms of bonding. Alkene has at least 1 double band. Tama ba ako?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you're going to write the structure of any alkene, you can always see that a pair there, at least there is a pair there of carbon attached to each other, but they are attached because, using 2 hyphens, 2 short lines. It means that there is at least a double band, no? And this double band will, if you see the structure and if you can see 1 double band, no, between a carbon and another carbon, then you know that that particular carbon is already an alkene. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to the third, the third acyclic alipathic. So again, alkane, alkene, alkyne, they are alipathic hydrocarbons, but specifically they are also acyclic alipathic hydrocarbons because they just form chains of carbons, and we can see the carbon situated. 1 carbon is at the right end and another carbon is at the left end. Okay, now let's go to alkyne. What is the general formula for alkyne? CnH2n minus 2. Ayan, si Thea. Parang si Thea lang yata ang nag-aral, saka yung ibang sumasagot-sagot. Yung iba, ano man ang gagawin natin? Hindi kaya online ang exam class, ha? No? Ang ating exam face-to-face, so it's a traditional exam. Pag hindi mo alam, wala kang maisasagot. And I am preparing you, I am trying to avoid No, kaya ko kayo nire-remind ng ganito kasi hindi man sa pinipressure ko kayo, but I am telling you to prepare because I don't want you to have low scores. A score na baka makapagpabagsak sa inyo. Hindi maganda na ang inyong prelim grade is sumisemplang na kagad. Okay, please tell the I'm going to open the cam. I'm going to, don't close your camera. I'm going to open the yung cellphone ko para makapasok sila. Yun nga kasi, hindi kasi pumapasok on time. Discipline, people, discipline. O ito na, sabihin mo na sila, pasok sila, isasara ko na naman. Pag makapasok na sila, kayo na nasa loob na, wag na kayo umalis. Tell them to enter now. Okay, camera people, Julia, I cannot see you. Jola, I cannot see you. Aaron, I cannot see you. So, anong ang maibigay ko sa attendance ninyo pag kayo ay nag-close ng camera? Okay, I think 2 or 3 people enter the room now. Okay, maingay kasi kapag nag-feedback. Okay, so there are There are 37 now. Nakapay anim, no? Anim na wala. Okay, I'll close the cell phone. O, mabaya na sila. Okay, kayo na nandyan na. Make use. Ano nga tayo? Alkyne. The general formula is CNH. Anyone?
2n minus 2, sir.
Okay, so CnH2n minus 2. And if we have C5, what is the partner?
H8, sir.
If we have a C5, 5 is 2n, 2 times 5, 10, minus 2, so ano?
H8,
H8,
sir.
sir.
8, sir, 8.
C5, H8.
Yes, sir.
Ganun ba yun?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So if it is a C5, H8, and you know, it's a pentyne, specifically, what is the name of this? And you know, this is alkyne. What is the name of this alkyne?
Pentane, sir.
Alkyne naman kaya, ano ang pangalan? Kay alkyne naman siya. Yeah, Rafson, that's correct. Pentyne. T-Y-N-E is pentyne. No, alkyne. Di ba? In other words, the ending, in terms of the name, the ending of alkane is A-N-E. The ending for alkene is E-N-E. The ending for alkyne is Y-N-E. Am I there? Are we connected? Natatandaan nyo yon? And each of them has their own general formula to follow. Okay? So pinaka-basic lang yun eh. Baka nga I am using a lot of time for this, but during the actual exam, there might only be 4 items asked about this because there are still a lot of things to ask. Like, how do we name when these alipathics are already forming a chain? No, so you have the alkyl group, you have the methyl, the ethyl, and then you have the propyl group, and in the propyl group we call others as isopropyl group. No, the butyl has a secondary and tertiary butyl. So it really it's really the structure that you need to remember as well. So I think if you are still adjusting to the nature of organic chem, you will see, and you might say this is really hard because you will need to memorize a lot of names and remember some formulas to characterize each of them distinctly, and at the same time you are to prepare naming them and writing them in terms of their structure. So that makes it difficult. But the easy part here is you will be given also items just merely to classify them, so that you can really earn at least some decent or good scores. You need to remember even the easiest part. One of the easier parts here is you know how to classify them. That's why I'm teaching you. So this morning we review the groupings or the categorizing of hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons again. We will now. This is my last part because we will go now to the specific. We will go to the naming of alkenes, because I think I did already an activity with you in the naming of alkenes. I know mastery is really not achieved yet. Did you submit an assignment on that where I asked you to name and I asked you to write some formulas? Have you submitted that
Yes, sir.
last meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
Now, were you serious in making those assignments, or you just copy? You just copied some classmates' assignments. So I will not ask you to answer that, but just reflect. It's not enough to just copy without understanding those. So make sure if you manage to copy, not just to submit to me, you still have the chance to really understand what you have written in there. Lucky for those who have been serious in really making the assignment, because in a way they were able to understand the concepts. But if you just grab someone's assignments and you just did complete the assignment for the sake of having something to submit to me, then there is time still to uh, the term there is to rectify that kind of common mistake among students. You still can rectify, meaning you can make it right by studying so hard so that you can answer on your own this coming Thursday. Okay? So,
你要让内
what
我还有你哑巴叔陪我。
done
什么意思啊？
this morning with you is to review the classification. So hydrocarbons, organic compounds that are composed of carbon and hydrogen, and they can be grouped into two. One, we have this thing we call the alipathics, and we have the other group. The non-alipathics are considered as aromatics, and one specific example of aromatics is the organic compound benzene. Okay, let's talk about benzene because benzene is special. What is the molecular formula for benzene? The first example of aromatics. Now, benzene is not an alipathic, so benzene is not an alkane. It's not an alkene. Even if benzene ends with ene, benzene is not an alkene because it is an aromatic. So what is the formula for benzene? As I've said, we specify benzene because it's so special. So what is the formula for benzene?
Carbon 6 hydro 6, sir. Carbon 6 hydro 6.
Correct. C6H6. And you know how to draw. Of course, I cannot ask you to show that here, but let me just ask, as a survey. How many of you can already draw the structure of benzene? Because that's very important. Oh yeah, paghandaan yan ha. Who can describe? Who can describe benzene? Because these things I am emphasizing are the ones to come out in the exam. Not to be prepared with it. So benzene, what is the formula for benzene? C6H6. Am I correct?
C6H6, yes, sir.
Okay. If it is C6H6, what is as I explained it one time, how do you visualize it? It is shaped, it is in fact a hexagon, correct? Am I correct? Is it a
Yes, sir.
hexagon?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if it is a hexagon, then it's characterized also by some bands. So if you draw a hexagon, what do you add to the diagram? If you draw a hexagon, a six-sided polygon. How do you write the benzene? Anyone who can describe? So mag-form kayo ng hexagon, correct? And then, is that enough? If you only form a hexagon without any additions, without any without any drawings there added to the hexagon, that is not a benzene. That is just a C6 yun eh. That is just a hexane.
Same.
No? Or cyclohexane. Kaya nag-close naman siya. So yung pentagon, the pentagon that is drawn without any additional thing there is a cyclohexane. But we are talking of benzene. So benzene must be different in terms of a cyclohexane. What makes it different? Anyone? There is an
Yeah.
alternating what?
Double branches, sir.
Huh? Yes, there
Double
is an
bond.
there
Double
is
bond
an
and single
alternating
bond.
double bond. Correct. O, yung
Double
iba,
bond and single
naalala nila. And if I want you to draw it shortcut, if I don't want you to draw it with alternating double bonds, what will you do? To signal to me that, yeah, hey, sir, this is my benzene. What is the correct, the easier, and the straightforward? Parang shortcut.
Branches,
No. Eh, naku. Di ba? Kapag may alternate, tanggalin mo na lang yung alternate, mag-drawing ka na lang, you just draw a circle inside the hexagon. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Do you remember? If there is a
Yes, sir.
hexagon and there is a circle or an oblong inside the hexagon, then that is benzene. Right? Okay, so that's one. Just think of it. Just review. All right, let's go now to another thing. All right, last three questions before I give. This is kind of parang nagre-review na tayo. Okay, give me three hydrocarbon groups that are considered alipatics. Oh no, acyclic, alipatics. What are the three major hydrocarbon groups that are considered acyclic alipathic hydrocarbons?
Propane.
No,
Propane.
group. Specific alkane man na imo, nag-propane ka. Group.
Alkanes, alkenes,
Alkene, alkyne.
alkyne.
Alkenes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yun na. Correct na siya. Okay, if there is a ring that is formed because the two carbons assigned as right and as left positions bond together to form a loop, how do you call that?
Benzene.
No, dili na groupings na, nag-specific na naman kayo eh, no? Kasi you need to understand that there is a grouping. Ano nito? This is a taxonomy from the general to the specific ito. So if I ask for the general, you answer me general. Like if there is a carbon in general, if we cannot anymore see a chain because the carbon to the right and the carbon to the left, di ba, my right end and left end, no? Yung what you see as CH3 at the beginning and then blah 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 CH2 and then there is another CH3 at the end. These two carbons at the right and the left end bond to form a loop. Okay, good. That's good done. No, they are called the cyclic alipathics. No. Okay, so the alipathics is composed of acyclic and cyclic. Okay, so again, importante ang structure ha. Ano sa pinaka-top? Balikan ko na naman para kung silang plaka. We classify hydrocarbons. Ano sa pinaka-top hydrocarbons? Then magka-categorize siya into two major categories. What are these major categories?
Aliphatic.
Aliphatic.
Alipatics and
Aromatic.
aromatics. Good. And let's subdivide alipatics. Alipatics can be
Acyclic and cyclic.
Acyclic and cyclic. And the acyclic are what? Specifically.
Alkane.
Alkane, alkyne,
Alkene, correct. So can you distinguish each of these alipatics in terms of formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are these? CN, H2N plus 2,
H2N plus 2 for CH.
Alkane.
CN,
CN, H2N,
then minus
Alkene.
CN, H2N minus 2 for?
Alkyne.
Ayan,
alkyne.
yung mga
Alkyne.
natataranta dyan, may panahon pa kayo. You still have time to digest this and prepare. I tell you, you need to prepare. Because organic chemist, ang nature niya is different. It's parang ano siya, pang nerdy. No, pang nerdy ito na subject and pang quiz ito siya. No, if you are para bang you prepare yourself as a contestant in the science quiz. There are a lot of things to ask. They are not really difficult things. No, but you need to just remember. No, get some cues so that you can understand them. Okay? So, later this afternoon, we will, if we still have time in the lab, because we only will conduct one laboratory activity, we will reinforce your ability in the naming and the writing structure. That's one. And maybe the problem with your schedule is we only have one day in a week for you. No, that will make your organic chemistry class a difficult class, or it's a difficult thing for you to remember because it's lumped together in one day. There is always an information overload. That's why I am asking you to, to really cooperate and do your part. Because as much as I would like to help you, the subject is scheduled not so nice. No, it's only one day. So all the information are placed there. So I don't know if we still have enough time to cover the naming of alkyne, but we will try our best. Okay? So, all right. Now, ito na. I will not allow you to close your camera so that I can see your reaction because I am evaluating now another attitude, no, the enthusiasm and the interest. So I'd like to see you. No? Okay. Now, don't close. Ano na yung naka-open na si James Anthony, si Enzo, hindi ko na nakikita, si Hill, si Ken. No, I cannot see them anymore. No, so please open your camera lang, no? Kahit na ngayon lang kayo mag-cooperate kasi importante siya. All right, I will now share in my screen something. This is important. Oh, bakit hindi daw ma-open? Just explain to me later na bakit hindi nyo ma-open yan. Okay, I don't choose Kuiper. We will talk about si Dr. D kasi nag-ask sa akin. All right, here. Okay, dito tayo, no? So, ito yung pinag-aaralan natin. So, let's have this one. Okay. Alkenes. Alkenes are characterized by a double bond. Wait ha, mag-prepare muna ako ng ano kasi tawagan ko muna si Madam. Para baka meron siyang reminder. Wait lang kayo dyan, wag ka mag-close ang